All right, in this video, we're going to remove the couple from the photo. Now, Photoshop came out with this great tool. We're going to come in here, and I'm just using my lasso tool, and I'm drawing around them to show you one way to do this, and then I'll show you another way to do this. Just quickly selecting that. Can't really see their feet, but okay, so I have selected them, and I'm going to just hit the delete key. And let's see what happens. I honestly don't think I need to do anything else. That was pretty good. Okay, so yeah, you can see there's a little bit of an issue right here. Just going to use the spot healing brush tool. Come through here. If I can get it to clean that up a little bit. Clone stamp tool. Usually with textures, clone stamp tool is great. No one can see it if you don't oversample. And I usually just go right next to it. There we go. I could clean this up. Yeah, that would do it. Okay, so it's gotten really, really smart about being able to take things out of a scene like that. If that didn't work, it has another tool up here. It's new. Where is it? Of course I can't find it now that I'm recording. There's another one that allows you to select a whole object and remove it. Here we go, object selection tool. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so undo this. So object selection tool, and it lets you draw a box around something like this. It only does a rectangular marquee, I think. No, you can change it, you can adjust it up here on the ribbon. Okay, and it selected it, and then I can do whatever I need to do and get rid of my sun, which there's no reason to do that, but just showing you how it works. So it now will allow you to use this tool, and it's under the quick selection tool, magic wand tool. It's with those two. Let you select an object. And let me open, I've got another photo so I can show you that one actually. Just go ahead and show you how it's supposed to work. Okay, so I got this cute little dog, and I want to take out the background. So what I'm going to do is object selection tool, and I'm going to select the dog. See how that worked. Oh, and it did a pretty good job. So now I'm going to select inverse, and I just want to delete that so you can see. Did a really good job. You have to go in and clean some of it up sometimes. Yeah, but and that's where you can use that the eraser tool. Nope. I'm used to working on a mask. I haven't shown you guys how to do masks yet. Let's do the blur tool. Okay, and just come in here and soften that edge up with that blur tool. Or I can use the eraser tool. Let's just make it reverse the colors down here so that white is your bottom color. And then clean this up a little bit. But this could allow you to go in and put in a new background behind the dog, so that I now have this dog and I can put in a different background. Now I would have gone back and let's see, window, history. I'm going to go to the history right here, trash all that. Yes. So now I just have the dog selected. That's in my history. And I have my dog selected, and now I can move him to another photo. Let's take the dog into the Maldives. Okay, make sure you see the difference in the cursor. Make sure you get the scissors so you're cutting. And he's too small, but oops, I keep forgetting they changed that. So now we got the dog instead of the couple on the beach. Now, one of the problems you have if you do something like this is that the color from the photo you took doesn't match the lighting in the image that you put it into. So I'm going to come over here to my layer dialog, create a new layer. Just got a new layer. And I'm going to sample, right? I'm going to select that foreground color, and I'm going to use the picker tool, and I'm going to sample the light from the scene, which is pretty close to that, and I'm going to pour it on that layer. And then I'm going to use a blending mode soft light usually works, and then reduce that opacity significantly. 23 in this case worked. You just gave it a filter. Now I can clip this to the dog, right? By control click, create clipping mask, so that it's just to the dog. And now the dog, because when the mask was over the whole thing, it also kind of made my water less blue. So now I've just applied that color filter to the dog, and he now looks a little bit more like he's at least the lighting matches a little better. The problem is he's actually lit from this side, which is where the sun is, but the sun's behind him. So there's things we could do to make him match a little bit more. Brightness, contrast, and pull out some of the brightness. There we go. There we go. That's it. Take out just a little bit of the contrast too. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks like your dog might actually be there. Okay, and all I did was image, adjustments, brightness, contrast. And it just comes from years of being a photographer, knowing light, and I reading light. And so when I know that the light is behind somebody, they're not going to be bright unless there's something being shown on, lit on them. In this case, you're probably not going to, I guess you could overexpose your dog. I mean, he could be flashed with a flashlight bulb. But in general, the brightness goes down when the light is behind you and not in front of you. And that was just something I learned over the years from my unconscious brain and doing photography for so many years, knows what it should look like. And so that's just, I mean, that's just a fact with anything in design. The more you practice, the more you do, the more of a library your brain builds to draw from. And the more you can look at something and go, something's not right, and know what it is. And when I looked at that initially, I'm like, the dog doesn't look like he belongs there because he's in different lighting. He was shot during the day, as opposed to here now where it's the sun setting and it's behind him. So with practice comes eventually perfection, or close to perfection. Okay, so we're going to end this series here with these tools. This should be enough for you to complete the project. It's not a terribly exciting project, but there are tools that you will use elsewhere. Just going to use this as an opportunity to learn them and practice them, and then you will put those in your mental toolkit to be able to work on projects like I showed you initially with my bouquet on the steps that I was working on. I needed to clean it up, and these are tools that will help you make those cleaning decisions.